air out. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So the air filter.
So the air filter doesn't actually have physically have a filter. Some of the tractors do, but this doesn't. So this would be off, and you'd have a big rubber band and a plastic bag over here sealing that up. Additionally, you'd take this off from the elbow, and you'd seal that up also. You don't want the sea air to get inside the engine if you can help it. This is... Oh, they did do
That's
that.
the sea strainer.
This is a sea strainer here. I've had to pull it off once or twice when the engine was going and it was getting hot, and I realized what happened. So we cut the engine off, and I had, while we're just sitting there floating around, and pull this open and clean it out. It was full of sargassum. Yeah, just
seaweed.
bad. I've got a lot of little bits and pieces here that are chafe. Wherever I feel that a hose crosses another hose, I try to put a piece of chafe material. Sometimes they slip off or they move or whatever. Just keep an eye, and if you spot a place that I've missed, do them. So, like that. These sit here and rub against there. This can sit here and rub against this piece here and vibrate. So wherever you can, if you see someplace that a hose is touching another piece of metal, now this one is just air, so I didn't bother with that one. But any hose that has any fluid in it, and you can, if you see a part that is questionable, just wrap it with something
this
soft.
thing's vibrating a lot.
Yeah.
So these two hoses are those two that goes to the hot water.
Exactly. They
heater.
go out, outgoing and incoming one.
But they have coolant in them. Even
They
though
have,
they're going
yeah,
to
they
the
have
hot water
coolant,
heater.
but they're warm. And in fact, when you're running the engine, you stand over there in front of the stove, your feet get nice and warm, so it's okay. This is just a dipstick for the transmission oil. It's been great. It's never lost a drop. I haven't ever had to refill it. Maybe a tablespoon in 2-3 years.
Oh.
So
You
it's
change
really,
that oil?
I've never had to change it. I've been told that you don't have to change it. I don't know a way to do it without some major.
Okay. So
Work
it's not
on it?
like regular engine oil. that
No,
you
it's not
change.
like, because it's not subject to the
anywhere?
kind of heat. It's not going anywhere. It's just the gears that are going around.
Okay.
You got to take and torque these down nice and tight, and do that. When I say fairly often, I don't know, every 20 hours, check them.
Okay.
They tend to work loose sometimes. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they do. And one time I let it go for about 100 hours, and it was like, whoa, this is like finger tight here. So every 20 hours, and then take it to 30 hours.
Is that the coupler?
This is the collar for the shaft collar for the engine to the transmission coupler. And just, you can start with 20 and then kind of back off and just see what happens.
Because if those come out,
Yeah,
your
it's going to
shaft
start to vibrate.
will-
The shaft won't go down because I've got this zinc on it to prevent that.
Okay.
Which, if you can't find a zinc for your prop down there, you can take this off and put it on.
Does that zinc turn when the
Yeah, that
engine's
spins.
going?
This spins up to here, I believe. Yeah, this is not going to spin, guaranteed.
Right.
Yeah, this is what spins here. This piece of stainless steel here.
Does it have like friction against that other
It has
piece?
there's another plate here, and that plate there is a carbon plate, and the carbon polishes against the stainless steel and makes a really, really micro smooth surface, so the water can't ever really get out there. It literally, normally I might get a teaspoon in 50 hours, and it evaporates with the heat of the engine, evaporates it. So all you do is see a little bit of salt there. You okay?
Yes.
And you burp this by just pulling this thing back
Yeah,
right
I saw
here.
you do that. You pull that whole piece back, right?
That whole piece just
And it just
comes
gushed
back,
water
and
out
it
of there.
gushed water. Yeah, you saw that.
It was kind of creepy.
This is the filter for the air conditioner. You don't have to worry about it. Just make sure that stays closed, and just remember that this here better be open when you run your engine.
What? Oh, the seacock
The
right
seacock.
there.
Yeah, because
That one?
this is for your cooling water.
So that one better be open. It's closed now.
Yeah, because they want to retain the
Yeah.
antifreeze and
Where
everything.
is the seacock? That
There, I'm
black
pointing the light
thing
at it.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pointing up.
So that has to be
Right.
open,
Okay.
or else the engine doesn't get water and it's going to overheat. And
Right.
But no, I take this back. They drain this. And this is open now.
Okay.
Before you go into the water,
Yeah.
make sure check all the seacocks, make sure that they operate.
It's open right now.
Right, it's open right now. But make sure they all operate well, because if you put this in and this is open and it starts to leak out of here, or it leaks out of here, and then you decide to see if it actually closes, that's too late. So you check each of the seacocks to make sure that they open and close properly before you go back in the water again. When I go to be put in the water,
It's in a closed position.
I
right?
close. It's in the open position right now.
Oh, okay.
I go ahead and close practically everything, including this. And I have a big sign on the stairs coming up that says, Seacock to engine is closed. So I don't forget.
Okay.
And
that's a
then
good
before I
idea.
start the engine up, and I got one on the starter too,
Yeah.
it says it's closed, I go down and I open this thing up, and then I make sure that the flow's here, and I have liquid in here,
Yeah.
not air.
Not air. Right.
And
You
then
see that how it's clear, that glass? You can see if there's water in it. When there's water
yeah,
in it. So
normally
it's
it won't be
empty.
pink.
Yeah. Well, I guess because it's got.
And if you want to get rid of the
It's got
air,
antifreeze in it?
it's got antifreeze in it now,
Okay.
yeah. But this tube here, all the way down, doesn't have anything in it. It's empty.
So how do you get water in it? Will it fill up with water when we put
Yeah,
it in the water?
because the
boat water?
sea level is about this high,
Okay.
so the water pressure
Will
pushes
push
it up,
water in.
and it will also push that bubble of air in. And sometimes it will get trapped in here, and you unscrew this and lift it up, and the air comes out, and the water gushes out, and close it back down again, and you're all set.
Yeah, I watched Chris do that when we.
Put it in the water.
And that's about it for the engine.
What about this is one's dripless?
This is the dripless shaft seal.
Do you
Yeah.
have to replace those every few years or something?
Not every few years. I've had this one for, I would say, 1,000 engine hours.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a lot of years, or
Yeah, it's about
okay.
4 years, I think. And you notice it's a slow thing. The only thing that fails on these things sometimes is this will split. If that happens in amongst your spares, you have the old one that I replaced, which has a face that kind of leaks, but it's really nice bellows. So you can put the bellows on, and I'm not sure if you can exchange the faces or not, but if you can't, you get the one that sort of leaks a little bit, and you get into harbor, and then you go ahead and make the repair. But it keeps you from sinking and allows you to run the engine.
Yeah.
I had one boat that had
Can you do that while the boat's in the water?
you can do it while the boat's in the water, but you got to have everything ready, and you got to do it really quick. But if it's split and the water's coming out, you got to do something. And if you got everything set, you got to get all this disconnected and ready to go. And you move that shaft down. You got the shaft tied off so you don't drop it in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's complicated, but the only other alternative is to get that magic tape and just tape up a big bundle of it right in here, and keep your bilge pumps going.
But
Now,
there's
that's
no way.
That's chirping back here, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good. So I got a replacement for that one.
But there's no way to stop that. If that came out and water came in, there's no like bung or something. No way you can stop the water from coming in, really, right?
I've pulled the shaft on a boat in the water, my son's boat over in Greece, and we pulled it out, and I went over the side as he drove it this way, and he had a bung on this end, and he pushed it out and bunged it. I pulled the shaft out, which was tied up, and I just pushed it out till it fell away, and then I bunged it from the outside.
Oh, okay.
And the combination of the two, the boat was
Wasn't
good for the week it took to machine a new shaft.
Okay.
So, but don't worry about that. The likelihood